resupplying, and Doggy's just happy. Okay, so Dakota's getting more food, but this is part of his restock. As you can see, he has, some candy in there and some bars, and then more bars and drinks in there. I think this is some sort of cereal. They do a lot of snack things for lunch, so he has all these bars, trail mix, and cereal for snacks for lunch. They also do tortillas with these tunas for lunches. This is his breakfast, a bunch of grits, oatmeal, and more bars. These Pro bars, they say, are the best. They think the banana bread flavor is the best. And so either banana bread Pro bars, which are really hard to find, or banana bread Lara bars, which are also hard to find. They say Pro bars are the best if you're doing it as a full meal. Even our dog hiked through her shoes. These aren't obviously supposed to have holes in them. And so, PCT wore out dog shoes and human shoes.
It's Monday, July 20th. We're just climbed up from Sierra City towards Sierra Butte and are now going to walk along this ridge. There's Sierra Butte. As you can probably see, it is pretty smoky here today. Starting this morning when we woke up, we were able to just tell there was a lot of smoke in the area. From the news and talking to people, the fire's not very close to us, but we're definitely seeing the smoke and we'll probably be in it for a while.
Monday, June 20th, we found this animal and we don't know what it is. It's kind of cute.
Oh, there's its face. Oh, sort of.
Yeah, what is that?
Pretty flowers and a cool fish right here where we're getting water. There's a lot more flowers. They're really tall.
Tuesday, July 21st, day 63. So, I've had a bit of a rough morning so far. Started with, a spider managed to get in my bag. And I do not like bugs, especially spiders, so that was kind of irksome. And I generally try, that I guess has always been my worry, was bugs getting in my bags and stuff without me noticing, so I always try and take precautions to ensure that doesn't happen. And that's one reason I like my Z-Packs, because with this Velcro top and roll top, it seems like, how could a bug get in there? So, yeah, I'm a little surprised it managed to get in there, but my guess is it actually must have crawled onto something when I was working on taking all the stuff out of my tent and putting it in the bag. But yeah, that was a bit obnoxious. Slowed down our morning too, because I didn't notice it. I was almost completely packed, and then it was scrambled farther down into my pack, so yeah, I had to unpack a bit, find him, get the spider out, and then repack, so slowed down our morning a bit, and yeah, it was just a bit inconvenient and gross. I do not like bugs. And then after that, we were crossing the stream that is near our camp, and one of the rocks that I stepped on apparently was really wobbly, so I managed to absolutely soak my left foot, and my right foot probably got 40 or 50% wet too, so again, nothing too terrible, not the end of the world or anything, but definitely an inconvenience I could have done without. So, it's still fairly smoky today, a little bit ruining some of our views, but it's not too bad, I guess, and so after talking to some people, it sounds like the fire won't be in our path, we're thinking, so at least we won't have to deal with any closures. So that's good. So the plan for this section. So today's Tuesday, and I believe we'd ideally meet with our support vehicles Thursday, probably Thursday evening. However, I believe it's more than 75 miles from where we camped to where we're going to meet with our support vehicles. So that means ideally we'll be hiking a minimum of 25 miles a day, and ideally more than 25 miles each day. However, I know at least today, and possibly this whole section, might have a bit more elevation change than some of the previous, more recent sections. So, I don't know, hiking 25 plus mile days with possibly considerable elevation change sounds kind of challenging. So, yeah, these next few days might be some hard hiking days, but we'll see how it goes. I don't think it'll be anything too bad.
You probably can't see it, but right over there is a bear. Now it's moving. I think it might just be a youngin'. I think we're okay.
So today wasn't as hard as I thought it might be. Yeah, we did the 25 miles which we planned, and although there I think we, I don't know, gained about 6,000 feet in elevation, it actually wasn't that bad, and we made it in camp by like 5:30 or something. Also, the car wasn't as far away as I thought. This morning, I knew the car was more than 75 miles away, but I wasn't really sure how far it was. But I think it's only like 76 miles away. So really, we basically just need to do 25-mile days, which probably shouldn't be too bad. Although tomorrow it sounds like, again, we're going to have a bit of elevation change. It might have to gain like another 7,000 feet or something. So, I don't know. It shouldn't be too bad, but it'll probably be a good days of hiking. Let's see, other things of note that happened today. We stopped for lunch at a dirt road where there was a spring, and we met the group of older gentlemen. I'm not sure what they were doing there, but anyway, they offered us some homemade jerky, which was pretty nice of them, and the jerky was very good, so that is much appreciated. And then we did see a bear today. So this is the second bear Jerica has seen, and the first bear that I have seen on the trail. It looked like it was a smallish brown bear. Wednesday, July 22nd, day 64. So we had a little bit of an interesting night. So yesterday we saw a bear probably about a mile or so away from our camp. And then when we went to get water, which again was, I don't know, maybe 3/10 of a mile away from our camp or something, we did see some more bear sign. So we're in our tents, it's maybe getting a little late, maybe around like 10 o'clock or so, and we start hearing something largish moving through the woods. You can hear it snapping twigs, and you can hear it walking along. Definitely sounds kind of large. And then we also occasionally hear these sounds, which, I don't know, the best way I can describe it is kind of like a strong exhale. Kind of sounds almost like a horse's snort or something. So we're thinking, I don't know, maybe that could be some sort of weird bear chuffing sound or something. So, yeah, starting around 10 o'clock, it starts to sound like there's a bear just like circling our camp or something. So my backpack, which did have my food in it, was, I don't know, maybe a little close to my tent, so I decided to move my backpack farther away from my camp. And then it sounded like whatever was out there moved to the new location of my backpack. So it sounded like whatever was out there was interested in my backpack. So again, that'd make you kind of think, bear. It must somehow smell the food through the bag that's supposedly odor-proof and want the food. Well, after enough tries, I finally managed to spot whatever the animal was in my headlight. And turns out it was just a bunch of deer. But this does lead to some questions. First of all, why are California deer nocturnal? I mean, this started at like 10 at night and continued till like midnight or something. I mean, those aren't usually the hours I'd expect deer to be active at. And then the second question is, why are they so interested in my backpack? Because when it was near my tent, they definitely seemed to be circling near my tent, and then when I moved it, they moved to the new location. I mean, our best guess is that my backpack must smell like sweat or something, and they want the salt from the sweat, but I don't know. Still just kind of seems like odd behavior for deer. So the plan for today. I believe we plan to hike hopefully around 20 miles again. This time it's a little less clear if we'll do the full 25 or not, mostly just due to the amount of elevation change. I don't know how much we drop, but I think if we do 25 we'll gain like 7,000 feet or something. And then another difficult part of it is like 2,500 feet of that elevation gain happens right at the end. We drop down to a river and then we'd have that long climb out to our camp. So since we already have gone who knows how many miles, we might, I guess, decide we're too tired to deal with that big of a climb that many miles in. But then again, sometimes it seems like we're not really that tired after 25 miles, and sometimes we do seem to do it in a really good time. Like today I think we're in camp at like 5:30 or something, so I mean, if it is early enough and we're not feeling that tired, then doing the whole 25 shouldn't be that big of an issue. But yeah, it all depends on how we feel once we reach that climb. There's apparently a few camps along that climb, so we could do part of it today and then finish it up tomorrow or something if we wanted. We're gonna climb down these rocks so that we're under the bridge where it looks like there were some swimming pools and stuff, and we might actually go for a swim in the river. Not 100% sure yet, but yeah, just seeing how far we can get and if we want to swim. I mean, it is about the middle of the day, so it might be a good time for it. And the old people that I met on the dirt road by the spring who gave us jerky really recommended this spot as a nice swimming area. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. So we had to do a little bit of rock dodging, but managed to get under the bridge. The water looks nice and calm here, though it does get deep really quickly, so if we swim here, it's probably going to be real swimming. So we climbed down off the side of the trail there. We left our bags by that tree and bush there. And then we did some rock hopping and dodging through this, down under the bridge, and then crossed to this side. And then that and there is where we were swimming. Pretty nice spot. And the water was pretty much the perfect temperature for the swimming too, so yep, good little side trip.
So earlier today we went swimming in the middle fork of Feather River, I believe that it was, and that was really nice. And then since then we've been climbing. So for almost the last 10 miles we've been climbing this hill, and now we're about a half mile from camp. Jakota's back there filtering water out of spring, which we're gonna rest at and get lots of water from, and then we'll head on to camp. But after climbing the hill, even though it wasn't that hot of a day and we were in shade the whole time, I am like so sweat soaked. I think it's funny that I almost look wetter now, and this goes all the way around to the back, and my whole back is soaked because my backpack doesn't really have any ventilation. So I look just as wet after climbing this hill as I did coming out of the river and starting the climb.
So yesterday we did manage to make the planned mileage of 25 miles even with elevation change. Today I think we're going to hike about the 27 miles that we have left to Belden, but I don't think we're going to meet with the support vehicles today, probably tomorrow morning. So yeah, we may or may not actually go into Belden. We'll probably hike at least near it and then try and find, camping as near it as possible. And depending on what time it is and what it looks like, we may or may not go into Belden itself.
We are coming up on Belden. We have less than 10 miles there. If you look down there, you can see a river and a highway.